Okay, and let's get back to our overclocking, and this overclocking will probably be the easiest because $100 is such an amount with which literally 10 consecutive pluses and everything will go very quickly. So as you can see, there is not a single indicator on my screen right now. This means that we are scalping today. Without indicators, we look at the level, analyze the charts, and let's see if I can make this video in one day. Perhaps this video will last for several days. I will try to achieve everything I need in a certain period, that is today. So let's go. What is the logic? How do we work? Well, we see some kind of graph. Yes, we see some kind of graph if we are interested, and we are primarily interested in the percentage of payments, and we begin to analyze it. First of all, we go to the higher time frame and check what is happening constantly for an increase. A downward trend by updating the highs, the graph unfolded by updating the minimum, the schedule has unfolded, and now so far, well, somewhere we updated something but mostly it didn't. Accordingly, I conclude that we continue to have an upward trend, a downward trend, but it is not very favorable. Therefore, for the time being, some indicators will not be traded here. We will connect them. So let's look at the Sentry here. Well, in parallel, if some indicator is turned on, for example, there is a stochastic, I do not know. Well, here's something like that. Then I'll explain how this indicator works. Well, in simple words, that is quickly if you are interested. I have a lot of indicators recorded. There is on the channel, you can go in and see, and so the downward trend has been updated at least. Now at the top, it went down again slowly, so well, strangeness here is not very good. I'm not very satisfied with the problem with such moments. Then there is a lot of volatility, then a small one, then a sideways movement, and one that moves down a little bit all the time. There is definitely a downward trend here, but now there are two green candles on which I will not trade. So let's keep looking. And in general, when I trade according on this scheme, I like to find charts that clearly show in which direction the trend moves. So when it turns out to trade right well. So it's interesting here. The situation will be quickly reviewed by the Sentry. Great. You can put it down. The deal will be open here and let's watch. Great, this is a plus, and I think even here we can trade again, but we won't have much time. So okay, so far the indicator has worked. Cool. Let's look at more currency pairs. Well, here you can trade it on a decrease, and the only thing is to look at this trend again. Well, yes, it was going down here, so we'll trade it on quickly, and it's already coming out to us to make a deposit, but that's alright. We have two deals for $80 and $100 opened. I didn't manage to change the deposit amount, the amount of the transaction. Well, it's okay, so let's watch. Something strange happened here, but the main thing is that our main deal closed with a plus, and in any case, but we in fact trembled on the spot and we had 180. It became $185. Okay, let's see, the hourly time frame on this chart is going down for a decrease, and at least there are two candles formed. I think it's worth trading the whole amount of the downgrade right now. Okay, let's watch. Great. Okay, here we have also a plus. Then every time 100% of tiles off, we trade it like this here. Perhaps I'll ignore it. I'll put the indicator on a decrease, but I wanted to put it down here. They didn't trade it down anymore, and apparently this is how it happens. And every time I'm going to do it, it happens then. Very at the wrong time, but I need more rollback than this. We have a little bit of excellent left. Just the deal is open for a downgrade, and let's look. Great, that's a great plus, and there is a strong downward trend here. By the way, on such a topic, you can you can make good money on such a trend. So what's the logic? Now, as I want to trade after a strong jump down, there will be some kind of adjustment for any reason, and after this adjustment, our trend will continue to decline, and here it is an adjustment. And right now, opening a deal to lower another one by 100%. And let's see what happens. So great, it's a pretty clean plus. Well, that is, as I said, it is now closing again. It will be green, it will go up. Well, that is the downward trend may continue today, and so on and so and so, but then the lows were updated, which immediately adjusted back. That indicator, it says, is going down, and here I see there was also a decrease. This is a U-turn, and now it's 52% again. And what am I doing at all? I'll tell you. So interesting, this situation. You can not trade now, unfortunately, and I didn't trade 2 deals for 550, and we are now also opening a little further. 2 deals for 550 opened, and let's watch this plus. Already been upset here. I was saying that it would be minus, but it's a plus, and we can continue further. On the balance sheet, already $2,000. This means that we will now trade 1,000 on the deal, so an interesting point can be traded here for an increase, but we will do so at the bottom, and we have no volatility at all. We open the deals on the increase, and let's watch. Of course, we have a great plus. It's the same video for you. For me, it was the next day that it was not possible to record the full video yesterday, so I will continue to record the video today with 100 overclocking. Yes, so we continue to simply trade, look for good currency pairs, and I have a stochastic just for help, not to trade it. So here I will trade 3 trades on the downside. Quick, okay, down. Let's open another deal too, and let's take a chance here. For some reason, I am sure that I predicted everything very correctly. Here is a good downward movement, so let's watch. Great, that's just a great plus. So here is our next currency pair, and we are also betting on a decline, and we have $600 left. This is our kind of safe balance left, and if this deal is now closing in plus when we finish and the video comes out, I have time to record everything in 1 week. Will be just cool. So wait a minute, even less than a minute, let's take a look. The deal will close and I'll be back. This is a great plus, and on the balance sheet we even exceeded the plan. The goal was $10,000 and we have $11,441 on the balance, so well. Hello guys, I'm Samantha, and today we're going to raise our balance from just $50. But before we start, I'd like to remind you that if you're interested in joining to my VIP Telegram group where I share all my trades, you can text me on Telegram so I personally answer you and add you to my private group with signals. And don't forget that there is a limit of just 100 people, so you need to be quick to get there. The deposit here is already on my card, and now we have a new goal. This is from $50, and we will use a super light indicator. We have already posted it on the channel. If someone has not watched, this video is mandatory, so look, a great indicator for us. If we want to trade from the trend, just according to the trend, from the levels and so on. This zigzag is very simple. The indicator overlays on the top of a chart, removes unnecessary noise in the form of, you see, I have removed such moments, and here too, the noise was removed. This is an indicator that clumsy shows us the trend, and in principle, let's start in the course of this video. You'll figure it out for yourself. For us, our rules are trading without breaking the trend, since we bet for 1 minute, that is, we enter the higher time frame. And what do we see, and how to understand which way the trend is moving? Yes, are we monitoring whether our maximums are being updated or our minimums are being updated? Everything is very simple. Zigzag is even easier to track thanks to it. Look, here we have a start first, we have a shadow left, so I'm not looking here. The minimum is here. Roughly speaking, the maximum has been updated, gone down, at least updated, yes, updated again, the maximum has been updated, the minimum has gone up, has not updated the maximum. Okay, so here we have maximum. That is when the maximum is updated, the next one is higher than the previous one. When the minimum is updated, the next one is lower than the previous one. Everything is very simple. That is, the maximum has not been updated and the minimum has not been updated. Here you see the minimum above the previous one should be lower. The maximum of 5 was not updated, went down, updated the minimum. Accordingly, throughout the whole picture, we have a minimum updated here. This means that we are entering a downward trend on a minute time frame. So we trade 50 here, and once again we look, we traded for a minute, so we also have to check the minute schedule. If we see after a sharp jump we have a drop and an adjustment, that's why I'm trading down $50 here. That is, we got a refund here, a little out of time, but I won't trade it here anymore. There's some kind of swing, right? So it's interesting here. We have a strong downward trend. We go to make sure and see a strong downward trend. The zigzag was drawn a little incorrectly here. Well, most likely it needs to change the period here, but so we had an increase which didn't update the maximum back, went down, but we see that the movement was on the decline. We observe the same thing on the chart, and accordingly you need to trade another $50 on the rollback. And let's say we have an interesting currency pair here and it is moving upwards. We see, as you see, a clear example, maximum of 1, maximum of 2, maximum of 3 each higher than the previous one, so such rollbacks are normal. That is, such adjustments are minimum slower than above the previous one. Accordingly, we have an upward trend and we have it here, and it continues on a 1 minute time frame. We see the same thing. Therefore, we are trading $50 on an increase here, and let's look. Okay, great. It is a plus, so we have an interesting currency pair. We see how we have an upward trend with the maximum. After adjustment, it continued to move upward. Here we see the same situation on the rise. So let's set the maximum. Great. I connected MACD, so as not to stumble upon stupid moments, that is while I was looking for a currency pair, I decided that I needed to connect MACD today. So here we have it added, and what do I need it for? In order to look at our volumes for an increase, large volumes for a decrease, so as not to accidentally get into such adjustments and such moments, that is, well, basically there are the moments not to get. You see the volumes have dropped sharply, the volumes have increased, that is, they're going down, that's the way things are. Let's look. Okay, so here we have a great plus, and let's continue for almost 150. The clock has updated, the maximum has updated the maximum, and has started updating the minimums, but it updates again and again, and the maximum is generally to bring everything closer here to the later movement. So looks like, let's take a minute by minute look. That is, you see our schedule mostly moves sideways, so there are of course some moments when it shows either strongly up or down, but in general it moves sideways, so we leave it. Okay, an interesting point here. MACD says that there is a U-turn here, so let's watch the clock on the clock. So we have seen with you how we have some kind of mess going on. That is, it went down, updated the minimum to the maximum. Well, you can say that I updated it. If you look at it, I updated it and it went down. So if you don't like it, let's look for another currency pair. Well, here that is. Okay, let's look at the minute chart. We looked, and here we saw an interesting situation, right? Very interesting. Then it went down, everything is as it should be, up and down reversal, and MACD says about the decline, and here is an incomprehensible situation. Well, then we are looking for another currency pair. That is, again, the logic is very simple. If I can't figure out what's what end on the chart, then I'm just looking for the next currency pair. So why sit and watch a currency pair for several hours in one if there are a lot of currency pairs? This is how minimums are updated. Accordingly, we open the downward trend in MACD to lower the deal, and let's watch. Okay, a great plus and interesting situation, as if it would be possible to trade more. Now let's see. If it have 40 seconds to the end, I made such a cheat sheet for myself. I'll put it here. This is the level from which it bounced last time. It kind of punched, left a shadow. And you see what happened. I returned to this level again. It is broken out. Then we will trade it on a decrease. We still have 50 seconds now to fully consolidate in some position, and now we'll see. It will be possible to trade it here without an indicator, but if it reaches the bottom now, again, I just bet on an increase, that if in the other direction. It can't break through this level, so well, we will not sit on the one currency pair. We will still have time to look at it if it strikes again. Again, perfectly, we'll just trade it down when we come back to this currency pair again. In the meantime, let's look for others. This is a strong downward trend, and let's take a look. The higher time frame, is it so? Well, yes. Here we still have, for the most part, the lows have been updated, turned around and still down. Look how it rolled back. That is, the adjustment is directly strongly downward, and we are still quite far from the minimum of the previous one. Therefore, it will be possible to put on a downgrade. The deal is open, and let's look. At a fairly clean plus, and we have fixed the schedule at a minimum. Now we are trading a hole here again, so here's a note to ourselves. Now it is broken, and we trade everything on a decrease. Once again on the downgrade. Great, and let's watch. So another great plus is a quick look at the clock. Here, in my opinion, you can continue to trade here. We're not looking at this line here. It has been superimposed on us since a minute ago, and we have already got close to the next minimum. That is, you can move it here and understand. That is, if we are coming here now, well, by the way, you can still trade here. It hasn't reached the minimum. Accordingly, we go in for a minute, and we don't need that here yet. And once again, we put on a downgrade, the deal is open. And let's watch. Okay, this is a plus, but on the verge you can see how our volatility has fallen. There are no volumes, but here it will continue to move down. We just delivered at the wrong time. In any case, plus lucky. Well, lucky or not, decide for yourself. I think it was lucky for the most part. So we continue the acceleration. We will have 2 600s on the balance of 1269. Today is a new day for me. It's a simple moment for you, and let's look for something. Here you can see how the minimums have been updated. So naturally the trend is now holding down, but here nothing tells us about it except for the MACD itself, where they show us that I'm moving down. You need to put on a downgrade. We will not bet against the trend, and accordingly I opened 2 downside deals, and let's watch. Okay, a great plus here, and the balance is already very pleasant, yeah. 2 transactions of 1000 will now be opened, and we have a fireproof sum of 200 remaining. What do we have here? What a mess. Let's figure it out. Here, the upward trend has been replaced by a downward trend, then down again to an increase. The increase has updated the minimum and has changed to a trend. The decrease has not yet updated the maximum, and accordingly the trend is still downward. But I suspect that we have for a minute, if we go in, there will be such a sideways walk. That is, here it is. If you bring it so close, it is not strong, then it shows some movement. trends. For example, here you can see the movement from the bottom up. See, since here it is from the bottom up, here we have smoothly a little bit all the levels side by side. Therefore, we will not trade on this currency pair, we will find something else. So, an interesting situation. We're trading on a decline because volumes have fallen. We see that after all, the MACD is developing a downward trend. Here, guys, we have a fireproof amount of money, so now we can continue trading at any time. That is, we have one attempt to lose everything in order to continue with $400. It wouldn't be that hard. In the meantime, the deal is open and let's watch. Okay, so great. The two deals are just great and we are in plus, so we can continue further. It is interesting here that the volumes have fallen, but where is the trend here? The trend is here. Well, it's not going anywhere yet, so that is the minimums were reset here. Zigzag shows us that the minimums have not been updated normally. Accordingly, we will not trade here, although it was possible to trade on an increase here, but you can also see the MACD, which is what everything is sad and quite dangerous here. That is, you use indicators wisely. Do not mindlessly just put them there in any case, guys. So we are here, and in my opinion, last time we noticed something, some levels, a lot of these levels here, and I remembered we have a schedule. So let's see. Let's say we're going, and here we traded and watched yesterday. So here, as I said yesterday, if it breaks, I trade it down, and if there are bounces, I will go up. In the end, it turned around. And so it went up. It will never see this level again. I suspect that the upward trend here was a downward trend, which was replaced by an upward trend. I am more than sure here that here we will need to open 7 seconds before the candle closes to increase the transactions. Now we'll see. We'll just wait. All we have is $29 left on the balance sheet. We trade almost everything we delivered. In fact, all 4 transactions for $1,000. I see. It remains to wait for the closure, and let's look like this. I'll open it so that it's more convenient. We look. And this is a great plus. We have 7,500 on the balance sheet, and our goal was to reach some 8,000. It's all happening so fast. Fine, so I won't trade anymore here. I'm afraid some adjustments will get caught on them very easily. Can we bounce back from the maximum here anyway down, right? Downward trend here is not the maximum, and it will be possible to deliver from it, but we will not wait for the closing of this candle. Then we need to trade here. Let's do this, and you can see how the MACD where volumes are falling. So, and this is a good sign. This means that something is going to happen to this candle now, and we will be able to trade. By the way, it was necessary to trade all the same on the fallen volume. I will immediately trade it down here, so the deal is open, and let's watch. Even slightly exceeded 8,221. Such overclocking was connected in a zigzag at the end already. Well, not at the end, at the very beginning we included, so I've already forgotten the MACD. It's great not to forget that MACD is not suitable for scalping. That is, for the most part, of course. I looked at the MACD centers, but it was impossible to put them fruitlessly here. I was just looking at the volume, that is, so as not to get caught on adjustments and so on. Here is the video, and I hope that you like this video a lot, and thanks for watching.